My name is Dan Snyder, proud owner of the Washington Redskins football team. In the name of decency, I am asking that you please stop using the name Washington Redskins to refer to your company.
Stop? But why?
You have no right to use our name to get attention.
The trademark got pulled, so I'm totally free to use the name, actually.
Look, don't you see that when you call your organization the Washington Redskins, it's offensive to us?
How is it offensive?
It's derogatory, Mr. Cartman. It makes us feel like a joke.
Guys, I have total respect for you. When I named my company Washington Redskins, it was out of deep appreciation for your team and your people.
Well, we don't feel very respected.
It is pretty surprising that in this day and age, with all of the progression we have made in society and understanding and compassion we have learned to feel for others, that we are still faced with the team using a racial slur that offends a group of people in our country with a population of over 5 million. Over the course of this video, I will explain why there is a need for change in the Washington Redskins name due to the history of racism in the organization, the derogatory connotation of the word, and overall the offensiveness to Native Americans. To first understand this topic, it is important to know some background information. According to Merriam-Webster, a mascot is any person, animal, or object thought to bring luck or anything used to represent a group with a common public identity. And the Alpha Omega Academy wrote that a mascot is a visual representation of this sense of belonging. This definition is imperative to understand because the current role of the Redskins in Washington has had the effect of hurting a population of people and ironically destroying their sense of belonging among their fans. Racism has always had a home in this organization. George Preston Marshall, a Washington, D.C.-based businessman, bought the Boston Braves football team in 1932 and moved the team to D.C. in 1937. According to the Civil Rights on the Gridiron, the Kennedy administration, and the desegregation of the Washington Redskins, it was here that he renamed them the Redskins, in hopes of turning this Native American-based mascot, the Braves, and making it sound, in his words, more dramatic and intimidating. Racism runs deep in this ownership. Marshall was a known supporter of, and perhaps an instigator of, a ban on African American athletes in the NFL. And even when the ban was lifted in the late 1940s, Marshall continued to follow this rule with his team until 1962, when he decided to draft All-American running back Ernie Davis and fullback Ron Hatcher. However, Davis refused to play for Marshall, and author Kevin Gover writes for the Smithsonian that he allegedly called him an SOB before being traded, leaving Hatcher to be the first African American player to sign with the team. After Marshall died in 1969, the team president, Edward Bennett Williams, attempted to change other racist practices in the organization, such as the team name, cheerleaders wearing black braided wigs, and changing the lyrics to the team's fight song, which included saying, "Scalp'ems and heap'ems." However, the use of the word Redskin continues to live on in the organization. According to Bearing the Hatchet, Elite Influences and White Opinion on the Washington Redskins Controversy, the name of the Washington NFL team has been a publicized issue since 1972, when American Indians first lobbied Washington, asking them to stop mocking Native people. While the team's management tried to argue that the use of the name Redskin is done as a symbol of honor, respect, and dignity that represents those qualities for which their organization strives, it is quickly disputed by acknowledging how this in fact is a racial slur. Native Americans were treated poorly with the colonization of America, and the name Redskin is an allusion to scalped heads of their people that were used for bounty. In this time, with a lack of social justice, Kevin Blackistone has noted that Native Americans in our country have gathered around the slogan, "I am not your mascot," which has gained a following, saying that these logos and mascots are offensive to the history of our ancestors. Social science research has shown that using derogatory Native American sport mascots have incredible psychological, social, and cultural consequences for Native Americans, specifically the youth. Due to this, over the past 35 years, over 2,000 Indian references in sports have been eliminated. However, there are still over 1,000 sport mascots left in the country with derogatory Indian mascots. In the end, you can see that the Washington Redskins organization has a long history of racism, starting all the way back with the root of the team, the original owner and person who named the team, and these effects have hurt and damaged a population of our society. Whether you have a tie to the American Indian community or not, It is your duty to stand up for these underrepresented people who deserve the respect of the National Football League.
Proud. Forgotten. Indian. Navajo. Blackfoot. Inuit and Sioux. Survivor. Spiritualist. Patriot. Native Americans call themselves many things. The one thing they don't